Good morning. Hi, guys. I know you're all surprised. You're wondering, who is this on the mic? We are used to hearing a deep voice, a manly voice, but it's a takeover today, y'all. At least for a few minutes while tracking is actually tracking. Because as you guys know, he wears many hats every day. So we're just gonna do a quick pre-market analysis for you guys. Good morning, welcome to the live. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, we talk about trading strategies, how to take good trades, talk about prop firms, real accounts, the ups and downs. So if you are into all of that stuff, please stay tuned in because we are definitely dropping everything you need to know on this channel about trading. And yeah, leave a like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell so every time we go live you don't miss us. We go live every day during the New York session and sometimes a few minutes after, but mostly the New York session. Oh my gosh, this candle, this is pretty much the trade we were taking yesterday. We can see that they've been swept. The significance of looking at the daily time frame so we can have our daily buyers in place. And yeah, we can see the trend, we can see the uptrend. So the market is looking very bullish. I'm just doing my top-down analysis. So going on to the 6-hour chart, we can pretty much see that the same is being translated even on the higher time frames. Right there, just like that. We can see a huge gap on the 6-hour. We probably don't need to mark that out right now because I don't think the market is gonna come down here anytime soon, but we have taken note of this huge 6-hour gap on the 6-hour time frame. Drop again into the 4-hour. We see the same thing, this huge gap. I don't know that the market is going to come down and retest everything on this level right here. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I doubt it because what was the first thing I said? The daily high was taken. So usually when the daily high has been taken, the market is usually uptrending. But we'll see. Anything can happen on the charts. We don't want to be fixated on one idea. We want to just read price and adjust accordingly if needed. So let's see on the 3-hour time frame. I see this breakaway gap. It's actually way more clearer on the 3-hour time frame right here. I'm just gonna mark that out real quick. I'll probably just put a line, nothing too much because we are on the higher time frames. We can see it's a pink line. Let me just change that to okay, this is the tricky part for me. What color do I want? Let's go with a light green because we're bullish. Anyways, okay, so right there, this is where I would want to take my entry from. If the market can come back down here and retest this, that would be the perfect entry for me personally. Okay, so I hope you guys can see. I know I am moving a little bit fast. I do apologize. But this is pretty much what I'm looking at, the breakaway gap right here. And this, I believe, tracking was trying to look at the risk to reward right here. If the market was to come back down here, that would be amazing, best case scenario. So right here is the breakaway gap. I don't usually like to look at the lower time frames per se because I feel like as a beginner trader it's pretty fast, and sometimes taking trades from the 1 minute or the 5 minute chart can be a bit confusing for me personally. I just stick to the higher time frames, but the smaller time frames are good because they help you pretty much see um, where liquidity is being swept, whether the market is respecting the gaps and boiling, steaming, getting ready, because we're getting ready to, get in the charts and all to target every single time. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at. Um, yeah, I am switching between the 30-minute and the 1 hour currently, so you guys can see the same thing that I'm looking at. Um, I don't want to put too many lines on this chart because you don't want to have an overcrowded chart with lots of lines and information that you wouldn't necessarily need, or pretty much make you confused when you're trading.
What time frame are you on right now?
So I'm on the hourly chart. If you aren't sure what time frame I'm looking at, you can go to the bottom of the screen down here. Um, Again, I know I am moving a bit fast, and this is my first time reading the market with and for you guys. So just let me know in the chat if you would like for me to repeat something or note something one more time. I don't mind. But this is the other gap that I've taken note of on the hourly. I'm not going to box this up, but I am taking note of this on the hourly chart.
What's in the notes? Explain the notes to the people. What about it? What are you taking notes of?
I'm not really taking like notes. I just mean when I say I'm taking note, I mean I've seen it, I have recognized it, and there is potential for price to go as low as here and retest this gap before it makes all-time highs today. And I feel like if the market would come down there, that would be a way better entry to take a trade from than right here where this green line is, because that was the top of the breakaway gap on the 3 hour chart that we had looked at. Let me just go back there real quick. As you can see, I haven't really, let me move it so it's better placed right there. Okay, that's better, but that's the green line that we're seeing on the 1 hour time frame. So that would also be a great place to take an entry from for today. But the market is still moving up, and as we know, we don't trade pre-market because, especially because it's 9:27, and we don't really know what's going to happen once 9:30 hits. The market always starts to move really, really fast, and we want to make sure that we are safe and not just finger happy hitting the button just because we are finger happy. But anyway, so this was the 1 hour candle that I've seen, and just knowing that there is potential for the market to come back down here. I don't know if once it comes back down here if it will like pretty much rush down to the bottom, and like sell off, but we will see. And then we have an order block right here that was holding price. Liquidity on the upside has been swept already. The market is making all-time highs, as I have said over and over again. So yeah,
Able to identify any liquidity?
yeah, I already identified the liquidity. So
So where is it at?
I said that the daily high has been swept. So
No, I'm talking about the liquidity. If that already been swept, then that's not nothing that we're going to be looking for liquidity.
okay, the liquidity is down here,
On what
right
time frame
here.
are we looking at?
if you are wondering what time frame I'm looking at, it's right here at the bottom, 1 hour time frame, and this is the liquidity that I am personally looking at right now, because what was on the upside has already been swept, so there is potential for all of this to be taken today.
And check the 15-minute as well.
Yeah, I am moving from the higher time frames, which is pretty much what I like to do, top down analysis. So we were looking at the daily, we've looked at the 6 hour. We've seen that whatever we have seen on the higher time frames is translating to the smaller time frames. And so now, since we've already established what's going on in the hourly, let's see the 30-minute time frame. 30-minute and 1 hour, they pretty much like to, I feel like they show the same price because they are like closer together, but obviously on the 30-minute time frame you will see it more accurately. On the 15-minute chart, let's see. Okay, good. It was taking a while to load, but it's good now. So let's zoom in and see. Like the really small time frames, however, they are very helpful. Come down here, swipe this liquidity in this area before making higher, going for higher prices from, or any other liquidity. I am switching to the daily time frame now to see if there was anything like that happened in the past or any highs that this market could be targeting. Let's go back a little bit. In the back there that is being swept, we do see, unless you are a swing trader, maybe you would be looking at that, but we're day trading here, so yeah. Thank you so much for spending time with me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. But I'll give you all back to tracking.
All right, baby, good job. I appreciate you for doing that. I had to tell my woman to come and entertain you guys while I'm checking in to my delivery spot, because that's currently what I'm doing right now. I'm checking in. I tell you guys all the time, like, this is a part of trading. You know, sometimes you have a red day because you're too busy to trade. You know, whether it's school, whether it's work, maybe you're dropping the kids off to school. I'm busy. And yeah, so let's get into this market. What I'm going to be looking at is, let's start on the, I know she just did her analysis for you guys, and shout out to you, babe, for doing that. I really appreciate that. I wanted my baby to talk a little bit more about liquidity, and figure out where is the market going to be drawing to. Maybe she talked about it, maybe she didn't, but not too quick, obviously, right? Lowers, but I'll be very quick. Just want to see what I can find on the lower time frames. At least I'm hoping I can be very quick. My signal is a little bit low where I'm at right now. But I am looking at things on my phone as well. Let me make sure I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi or anything like that. There we go. All right. Let's remove this off of my chart. Fibonacci, that was a trade that I was looking at during a London session. So it's obvious on the 4-hour we got a potential gap. Technical analysis, one of the first things you have to have a swing high and a swing low. So this is why sometimes I don't tell you anything at all, because you're waiting for a 3-hour candle to close, or you're waiting for a 4-hour candle to close. So you can't really use the higher time frame sometimes, especially in a market like this, where, you know, price is going very fast in one direction and it's not really giving you the most market structure, right? And I've mentioned this in some of my prior videos that always like to trade market. The two on the 1 hour chart, to really wait and see how this 1 hour candle is bullish. Let's just try to find buy. You have to wait for market structure. I do a lot with the 15-minute signal at this place because right now it's looking a little bit shaky. So I'm going to jump out of my. All right. Woo. Man, it's hot out there too. Shit. Like it's sneaky hot. All right. So, whoa. Dude, then he gonna give you the old school look. He knew he was in the wrong. Luckily, I'm the driver of the year. The lives, making her be on screen. Did you enjoy that, babe?
Yeah, but you were asking me questions on the hot seat. And I'm like, I wasn't ready for the hot seat.
You wasn't ready?
It's an entertainer.
Get ready, you ain't gotta stay ready.
All right, all right.
All right, y'all. So we are back. So obviously, you guys can see. Is the hotspot making your signal faster? I'm desperate at this point. Let me try the hotspot.
I wouldn't say faster, but it's working.
Having some connection problems, y'all. Give me a second. As y'all can see at the top right-hand corner, I only got 2 bars today. But essentially what I'm looking at the 15-minute time frame, you guys. If we drop down into the 1 minute, you can see that we swept liquidity on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, finally, here we go. It finally pulls up. So this is not my strategy, even though it looks like you could take a sell from here to there. So I would like to see this act as like a magnet for a price. But because we're so bullish, maybe price is going to save this for tomorrow or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if this little gap right here that we marked out on a 1 hour, if this stays open, then I would say price is going to remain very bullish today. But really not trying to predict anything at all. You know, I'm just here with you guys hanging out. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to try to no longer switch from different time frames because my signal is fairly low. Yep, so, but I will be minute chart. And right as I say that, price is pulling right up into it. Because once it takes the liquidity and it doesn't make like a gap or a breakaway gap, I like to update the liquidity because, technically it's sweat, but I don't like to consider that as like something of significance just yet until I see what I'm trying to see. So you measure out this wick on a 15-minute, you guys can see we just went above the midpoint of that wick. I'm not really trying to be a seller today. I almost just rather not even trade at all if I have to take a sell because of the market more times than not. So I'm just waiting. But if we do get like a sweep of liquidity and we get a breakaway gap, obviously that's like my strategy. So versus taking something else. So for the remainder of the screen, I probably will stay in the 1 minute time frame because every time I switch time frames, we're moving so slow. I might not even keep this video up, to be honest, if this is gonna like be a thing. But yeah, so we just got that sweep above. We already invalidated this order block. Will we hit this 1 hour fair value gap? Probably. Right, but we have to wait for that to happen. We have had does it stop going up? No, we could keep just going up during New York as well. But what that means is that we're likely probably going to see some type of sweep. Was measure out that wick on a 15-minute to see if that's going to want to hold price down. If I had to take a guess, I would probably say it's not. I do think prices may want to keep going up and sweeping some liquidity first. So yeah, it's just looking like a very choppy market as well, you guys, because we have a inversion fair value gap inversion being right here because it's going to allow price to just bounce around for a little while. So it's so far it's looking like today might not really be that busy of a day. We're almost 30 minutes into the market open, and we haven't really seen too much, right? So this is our first presented right here. So that's going to be very significant. Can't forget about the first presented fair value gap. My screen is loading for a little while. Just give it a couple seconds, you guys. Like I told you guys, I am in Florida. I think the city I'm in I think it's called Palmetto or something like that. As you guys can see on the top right-hand corner of your screen, my connection is a little bit low. So that's unfortunate, but I will stay here with you guys and continue to read price. And I am looking at things on my phone as well. My phone is much faster. But I'm looking at it on my phone, and currently we did just touch into that 1 hour fair value gap. So, all right, finally, sheesh. So maybe that was a good sell. Nice little 60-point sell right there. We hit the midpoint of that wick, came down, held this gap a little bit. So now we're going to be looking to see what do we do next, right? We just swept some liquidity in there. So is this going to be, and then do we just keep going back down? And if we do keep going down, where and see. I know some of you probably seen that sell, like, man, I should have taken that sell. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Me personally, like I said, I like to really wait for more information, especially nowadays. And especially when I'm almost done with phase 1 on my prop firm account. I want to really be patient and wait for a breakaway gap. We broke up above and created a breakaway gap, then I would, be more comfortable taking a buy or something like that. But Right now, no, I'm just chilling out with you guys and seeing what's happening up here. So just waiting for more information. Also, this right here, this little gap, like let's say price touched the bottom of this gap and started to really fly to the downside, I will also take a trade if something like that was to happen as well. But essentially, what I look for is a sweep on liquidity, and I like to look for either a breakaway gap or I like to look for price to really hold. Hello. Okay, thank you. So it do look like we're going to maybe target this pink line where liquidity is. Um, it do look like we may want to target that, but it's so far, you guys, still no trade for me, and the reason being is that um, we haven't swept that pink line yet. It do look like we want to sweep it, but we haven't swept it just yet. We did break a little bit below this hourly first presented. I mean, not first presented, but the hourly fair value gap. But it's just I still don't trust it. We did hit the lower quadrant, as ICT would say, of this little gap right here on a 1 minute time frame, and then we had a little nice sell down. Um, Not really my strategy. I guess that was like a good little 30-point trade, but it's not something that I would take. Are we going to target this? This liquidity, but so far I don't know yet. Right, so I'm just still sitting on the sideline waiting for more information. So right here, you guys, and this is actually something that I was anticipating right here, this little pullback. And here's why. Like I said, I don't fully even know if we're going to sweep this liquidity. We have already taken. The next thing I'm going to be looking to see if do we want to touch into this gap, right? Because if we don't touch into this gap, like I said, that's going to be a breakaway gap. And especially if we could sweep this liquidity right here and then let's start making some turns. See, because I think you said ask yourself, how do you if I did take that sell, I would have been out. But because it was only a 30-point range, I probably would have only made 10 or 15 points. So you gotta think about that if you're in these trades. Because look, right there, we just got a touch, right? So I'm not taking that. I am not taking that. But if price continues to go lower, the way that it left, that you can see, we are sweeping some liquidity, but we still have not touched the system. It just wasn't good enough for me. But you know, my girlfriend, she took the sale. She made profits on it, so you know, it could be something that's for you. You have to figure out what works for you. You know, so far I'm happy about how like the check-in stuff works around here, babe. I'm satisfied.
Did they give you a time? Or not yet?
Not yet, no. But I am satisfied though. Heavy lifting, just getting people paperwork, information to her. Give you a door, and I come in here, drop my paperwork off, good to go. I ain't gotta be all asking questions, looking all confused, like how they normally leave people out here. But did you see her? She looked like she was an African woman. You got on a 1 hour, but it's not really moving. Coming to today, already knowing I might not trade. I'm up on a week. There's no reason to try to force something if it's not there. Nice. That was actually really nice. What? How much did you risk to make that? think we're going to really go back up and break past this high, or do you think we're just going to take out this and sweep one lower again? What do you think?
I think it's going to keep going lower, at least for the morning session.
Well, now I can finally make an attempt to trade in peace, you guys. So, like I said, I'm still conflicted about price action right now. We already swept a ton of liquidity out. We do have a order block on a 1 hour that we may want to go into. I don't really know, but I'm just going to be real patient because, you know, I don't really like this price action. It's nothing really happening so far for me.